can. I'm greatly inspired by African leaders like Nelson Mandela, Sam Nujoma, Kenneth Kaunda. I know.
Right. You did.
And also the feminists like Gloria
Right.
Steinem.
And I'm just super excited to be having our role hustler for this morning. She goes by the name of Sepo Haihambo, FNB Namibia, the Executive Officer for Commercial. Sepo is an experienced investment banker and an economist by training. She's known for turning around underperforming businesses. Sepo, she's the one for you. You need to get business cards, yes? Underperforming businesses through purpose-driven innovation and incremental change. Sepo contributes to thought leadership conversations through speaking at conferences such as TEDx, Windhoek, Namibia Internet Governance Forum, the NIPB Innovation, and participated as an alumni speaker at the recent Namibia Oil and Gas Conference. At present, she serves as an executive in at a leading Namibian bank. She also holds a bachelor's degree in economics and a master of science in finance management from SOAS University of London, and has participated in various executive leadership programs. Sepo is an avid runner and passionate about growing future leaders. Absolutely fantastic resume there. Good morning, Sepo. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Just getting really into it. I know what you do now. I know how you got here, but tell us a bit about your childhood, how it had shaped or how it's shaped the woman that you are today.
I was born in France into a large family. I lived there till the age of 5.
Oh, okay. I parle français a bit also, just so you know. I'm saying...
Moi aussi, je parle un peu de français.
Yeah.
So I lived there till the age of 5, after which my family moved to Zambia.
Right.
I grew up in a blended family.
Right.
And I came to Namibia at the age of 17 to study at the University of Namibia. So I think growing up, I've experienced a lot of different cultures, and I think that helped shape my view of the world and what's possible for me as an individual.
Right. Absolutely beautiful. What was your biggest dream when you were growing up? Like, when you just close your eyes as a young girl, like, wow, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to change.
Sure.
I know it's a bit of a doozy, that one, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I think when I was 7, I wanted to be a pop star. Who didn't?
Of course.
And then later on, when leaving school, I decided to study economics.
Right.
At the time, I had this vision of working for like United Nations or some sort of international organization where I'd work on policy. But eventually, I ended up in financial services. I think financial services are purpose-driven because ultimately you work with people's money and you help them make great decisions with their money, and with their money they go and they fulfill their dreams. So I think if you offer good service as a financial services company, you're actually participating in people's lives, businesses, and being the intel chip within that powers that drive and vision. Yeah.
When you wake up every morning, when you woke up this morning and your feet hit the ground, what gets you out of bed?
So for me, I'm very motivated to try and inspire positive change in any way that I can. I'm greatly inspired by African leaders like Nelson Mandela, Sam Nujoma, Kenneth Kaunda. I know.
Right. You did.
And also the feminists like Gloria Steinem. So for me, I'm very aware that as a Black woman, an African woman, that I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors, and that my children's children and their children will stand on the legacy that me and this generation leave behind. So there's like a responsibility to leave something that that for them that I didn't have.
You mentioned a bit, you named dropped there a few of your influences or people or people that really shaped you. How would you say they really contributed and to how they shaped the life that you led today and just the woman that you are today?
So I think for me, it's made it easier and given me more courage to have difficult conversations, because I imagined for them to pursue the professional path that they did, that it was hard for them, and there was courage and there was sacrifice in it. And I believe that to continue moving our country forward and innovating, we need
Right.
to be willing to have difficult conversations, because the first reaction is normally, are you crazy?
Are you crazy? And there's nothing wrong with being crazy, no? I mean, to an extent, if you look at the greatest minds that's ever changed the world, they've been considered a bit on the other side of the fence, as it were. You. How important is it, do you think, is to have influences, to have people that you look up to have people that you can tap into as a young person and as an African, whether you're man or woman?
I think it is very important, because I think it helps build a picture of what's possible. And
Right.
if you don't see someone doing it, then you can't conceive what can be done. I think movies like Black Panther, for example, they really, gave energy to that whole what is possible for African stories. And now you're seeing like Buhan the Giant on Netflix. I mean,
Right.
such things, it's greatness, it's inspiring, and now that's happened. Some other Namibian filmmakers inspired that they can too have movies on Netflix. So I think it's very important for us to be positive role models.
We are running out of time, but before we let you go, if there's a young woman, a young man listening to you now, what words would you leave them with this morning?
I would say, believe in yourself, bet on your dreams. Yes, there will be setbacks, but delayed is not denied.
Hi. That's my mantra for the week. Thank you very much, Sepo. I've been looking for Sepo challenge brief to come up with the mantra for the week. Oh man, absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. We really, really do appreciate it. Delayed is not denied. There we go. Sepo, thank you very much for your time and have a fantastic week.
Thanks for having me.
That was our role hustler, Sepo Haihambo, talking to us about her life, where she's at, and most definitely that denial is not... Delayed is not denial.
Yes.
There we go. Thank you very much, Royal Hustler, for this morning.
Royal Hustlers was proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corp.